Well, hello and welcome to another Destiny podcast.
Oh, thanks, Newt. Glad to be here.
Oh, glad you could join us.
Thanks, man.
Well, boys and girls and everyone, everything else in between, we got a ton to talk about this week.
Yup.
Going from just the TWAB to the new subclass reveals for the Stasis and the NVIDIA reveal, which was a fucking bombshell and a half, which I'm sure Starlight is going to wax poetically about for a very long time.
I got opinions.
But we'll get all to that first, or sorry, we'll get all to that later, rather. But first, we'll start off as per usual. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Starlight, how was your week?
Pass.
Eeny, meeny, miny, you.
Are you opening a bunch of tabs
I'm
right now?
opening a bunch of tabs, okay? You gotta give me a minute.
All right, cool. How was your week?
Well, you're not going to believe this, Newt, but I'm opening up a bunch of tabs as well. So, pass.
Hey, Newt, how was your week?
It was pretty good. It was busy. Work was crazy. Lots of stuff to do, but 3-day weekend now, so that's pretty nice.
3-day weekend, wow.
Yeah, good way to recover from a hectic work week. So that means I didn't get a ton of gaming in, but to be honest, I don't think I would have played much Destiny anyways. I'm definitely like in the I'm not really interested right now kind of situation. Yeah, so New World finished the open beta, so I can't play that anymore. But I was playing Titanfall 2 for the first time on PC. I played it before, but on Xbox. It's really great. I really enjoyed it, but to be honest, I got about halfway through the story, and I was like, I just played this a little while ago again on console, so I got the feeling for it. I enjoyed it, but the story's, I remember pretty much every detail of it, so I'm not going to bother playing through the rest of it. What else was I playing? Oh, I just started playing Craftopia. Have you guys heard about that?
Oh yeah, it
rips off every single other game, or takes a certain aspect from every other game and rips those off.
But it takes automation to another level though. Because you can make conveyor belts and you can auto mine everything.
Yeah, it's super crazy. It's kind of like Satisfactory meets Breath of the Wild almost.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But it has MMO features.
Sorry,
as well.
I was actually thinking of Satisfactory.
Oh,
that was the automation one. That's on me.
Yeah.
Satisfactory is a pretty great game. I've never played it myself, but we've got a coworker who does, and he really enjoys it.
Yeah. But it's like Breath of the Wild as well. But
does it have positive reviews?
Yeah, people really like it. I played it and I really enjoyed it.
Hey,
are people thinking that it's pretty satisfactory?
Yeah.
Can I strangle Starlight, Newt? Can I just throttle?
I mean, you can try. I'm pretty sure you would get your ass beat.
Yes, it's work. Damn it.
Harder.
What?
Harder.
One more thing I was gonna say about it. Oh yeah, it's also in beta. I think it's in beta or alpha. Pretty sure it's in beta. So again, it's pretty rough around the edges, but it's got a real solid base to build a good game on.
Nice.
Other than that, this week I came to the conclusion I need to set aside roughly $500 because how could I not buy a 3070?
Yes,
$500.
3070. That is the what? Well, it's American 500.
Yeah, so a little bit more than that.
It's going to be $750 for the non-Founders Edition models. I'm assuming
for Canadian maple money.
Yeah, the Canadian. What do they call it? Igloo bucks. That was a good one. I like igloo bucks.
Nothing will ever beat dollary dues, though. As a
dollary dues.
That was like a fake currency.
Beaver bucks.
Beaver bucks are good.
That's good.
I like that.
Isn't that what you spend in strip clubs up here?
Yep. Speaking of which, Cole, how was your week?
Well, let me tell you, I got a big stack of beaver bucks right here. No, my week was really quite good actually. Didn't play any Destiny up until 2-3 hours ago when Starlight just hopped in and rinsed through the last of my legendary Solstice gear, and so now I'm on the final step with him. So that's nice.
That's good.
What else? What else have I done? Oh, I'm back to drinking. Well, I'm because I finished.
Yeah, they took this fucking bracelet off my ankle. Finally.
What's this coin all about? Oh well. No, but I went through August completely sober because I just had to do like a reset of my system. I had been drinking, like my drinking was slowly ramping up there, and I just noticed some bad habits starting to make their way back into my life. So I just shut that shit down, went sober for a month, and now I'm back. And now I'm starting off on a nice Goza, actually, from a local brewery here in town. It is really tasty.
I appreciate the glass as well.
Oh yeah,
your achievement hunter glass. You've had that for a while now.
Mine shattered.
It survived a couple of moves. So yeah, that's the beer I'm drinking right now. It's the Souk Oceanside Brewing
Lemon Goose?
Salt West Lemon Goza. Yeah.
Lemon Goose would be a much better name.
Lemon Goose.
It's a Goza.
Goza. Damn it, you beat me to it. It's just a really drunk Hermione at the corners. Goza, not Goza. When goddamn Levitt goes. Yeah. All right. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. My brother was up island for a little bit and grabbed stopped off at my mom's place for a bit, and he grabbed a couple of old Bionicle models for me. So I'm gonna have those up in the back here eventually.
That's cool.
I'm pretty stoked actually. And other than that, yeah, it's just been a pretty good week, pretty average. Yeah, not a lot to tell. How about you, Starlight? What's been going on in your week?
Well, in the last, let's go back. So I told you guys last week that I've been working just a lot of work. I decided that wasn't enough for me and that I wanted to work more, so I worked more. So I've got 36 some odd hours of overtime over the last 2 weeks.
Right.
So I'm pretty worked out. I didn't really play a lot of games, other than I've been crushing Fire Emblem still. Love that game. Lady Starlight is currently playing the Mario Rabbids turn-based strategy game, and she's really enjoying it.
Yeah,
very nice.
Really trying to get the fire team together so that we can finish up those solstice bounties or those solstice gear requirements, guys. That would be nice if we want to do that later. No pressure.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely into that. After this podcast, I'm going to be hopping in with Starlight, and we're going to be doing some trials.
Whoop whoop.
Oh God.
Yeah. So.
Hey, New, do you mind just real quick? New, do you mind checking the Discord chat while Starlight finishes his little thing there?
I can't. It'll fuck up my webcams.
Oh, okay. So Starlight, I apologize. Keep going. I've got a question to ask you after you're done.
Sure. I'm gonna turn this on though because it's getting hot in here and I don't want to take off all my clothes.
Ooh, but take off all your clothes.
I refuse.
For me.
So, yeah. With bated breath, me and every other person in North America that is into computer stuff was waiting on the 30 series announcement from NVIDIA. After which I collectively shat my pants and then decided that if I'm gonna have to suffer and other people are gonna try and capitalize on the situation, so what I've been doing, because Cole has been trying to build his PC, I've been keeping an eye out on Facebook Marketplace for just primo deals. Of which there are none, because the only thing we have left are GPUs, and people don't seem to understand how depreciation affects everything, including your precious GPU that you spent $1,000 on. Anyway,
but I have to come out of this build on the green, in the black.
People need to understand that it's not about how much.
People have to understand I'm poor.
Yeah, that too.
I don't have money.
People need to also understand that it's not about how much it was worth when you got it. It's about how much someone would have to spend right now to get comparable performance.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
3 weeks, not a whole fucking lot. So we're gonna get into that later. But I essentially went on Facebook, and every time someone posted, "Oh yeah, I got an RTS, or I got an NVIDIA RTX 2080 Super."
Yeah.
It's not really using it as much as I want to, so I'm gonna downgrade. Yeah, that's why I'm selling it. Totally selling it for that reason. And then I message them, and they're asking like $800, $900, $900, and I'm just like, or like $1,000, and I'm just like, hey, is this available? And they're just like, yes, like within 30 seconds, it's like, yes, it's available. And I'm just like, cool. So should I get this, or should I wait 2 weeks and spend $200 less to get a 30% performance bump with the 30 series when it comes out? And then I get no response for some strange unknown reason.
Yeah.
So
He's not the hero we deserve, but he's the hero that we need right now.
I'm really just, as someone who, like, I am very fortunate that I can, like, when this announcement happened, I decided, yes, I'm working some overtime. Because I decided that I was I screwed myself by getting this 1440p ultra wide monitor that requires an insane amount of power to push 144 frames on, because it's an ultra wide at 14. Oh, we lost Cole.
Yeah. And he's back.
Oh, and he's back. Oh. So it's my fault, but luckily I have the ability to pretty much work as much overtime as I want. So I can just think of things that are expensive in terms of how much overtime do I have to work? And the answer right now is not a lot, because we have I've got some savings, and
yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna empty my savings for this new graphics card. But I think I want to dedicate like a little bit of time towards the 30 series stuff specifically later on in the cast, so we can move through this.
Yes. One thing I will say really quick, this is kind of nice to see. There is one person on Facebook Marketplace they've got an RTX 30 series listed for $1.
Just like, don't buy it. Just don't do it. And telling people don't listen to these. I actually sent that guy a message, and I was just like, thank you, because I've just been trolling the people who are trying to sell their cards, but he's actually going out of his way to inform these people. But
nice. I
will say, three of the people who I messaged and was just like, hey, is this available? They've since deleted their postings. So I think they've just accepted that they're screwed. So like, essentially what I'm doing, this makes great leeway for, because I'm going to upgrade to either the 3080 or the 3090. And when I do,
just a casual flex right there.
A casual flex of, I worked 80 hours in 6 days, and that's somehow a flex. Like, no. Like, I worked 80 hours in 6 days. I think I've earned my 3090. Thank you.
I would say so, definitely.
So essentially, when like I'm seeing a cascade effect, because I'm gonna get my fancy new GPU, Cole is gonna get maybe a fancy new GPU also when they drop like the 3060 in like March or something next year.
I could just paint yours, right? I could just paint yours.
Just just actually spray paint. Like, it doesn't affect the PCB at all, so you should be fine.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
But then,
I wonder
like,
if I could actually use model paint if I took the shrouds off.
Stop. When I joke about it, it's okay, but I don't know that you're not serious, so I need you to stop. But like,
wow, God, bitches! I have no idea what happens in PC builds.
Newt's gonna get like a new computer, maybe.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be some trickle down to our boy Tea Time Tibbs. Potentially
trickle down economics that actually work.
Trickle down economics at best, but it's applied to now like near obsolete computer parts. So once Newt like sells his PC to Tibbs, maybe Tibbs wants a new graphics card, and then maybe the 2070 can find a good home.
Yeah,
it's a 2070 Super, but maybe the 2070 Super can find a good home where it's actually going to be able to push the frames that people are going to want, because it's not gonna cut it for me soon, because I'm already.
Real quick question: am I the only one bevin right now? Am I the only one having
coffee?
Drinks?
I also have a coffee with nothing in it.
Oh,
just
well, Nate, you should have. I thought you said just dreams. I was like, oh,
Irish cream. Anyway, I also have other bevs. Don't worry. But yeah, so my week has been 36 hours of overtime. I put up shelves, which you can kind of see.
Oh yeah.
Starlight, what's that on the shelf behind you there?
That shelf right there, that's my memorial shelf. In memoriam, you guys can't see, but it's Cade and Sundance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to get like a tiny little spotlight that just like shines down like a little halo spotlight right above them.
I'm coming home, Ace.
Yeah. Just hung a bunch of shelves.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say actually that the shelves do look really good.
Cleaned up the nerd room a little bit so I can start using the VR headset again.
Yeah.
So that's good. And other than that, drooling and I'm taking my budgeting for the 3090 if I were to get a 3090 very seriously. I made a spreadsheet like in Excel.
That is an adult thing to do.
That's an adult thing to do. I have it broken down, so it's like overtime date, hours worked at overtime, pay rate at overtime, gross net tax, percentage of goal. And currently I think just on the overtime that I've worked, I'm at like 52% of the like goal price of
okay, nice.
Like of a 3090 cost after tax in Canadian pesos.
Can I hop in and ask Newt my question by any chance?
Yes. So hey,
Newt, you bitch, did you remove me as a mod from Twitch?
No.
Are you sure? Because I'm looking at the chat right now, and it says mods, ADP Newt, ADP Starlight, Nightbot, viewers, ADP Colossus, Gator.
Oh, that's weird.
And let's do this.
It was not me. I don't know. Maybe you.
What could I have possibly done to remove myself as a mod? I don't.
That's weird. I have no idea. I'll look at it later. Well, shall we hop into the TWAB, which is not it's a lot of information. It's just that there's even more information on top of that separately from the TWAB.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does the blue crown mean you're a mod, or what does that mean?
No, that means you have Prime. Yeah,
Fuck.
You're not a mod. That's weird. I'll take a look at that later.
Well, the hierarchy has been established. I see how it is.
But hey, Newt, just Newt, 1 second. Cole, if you just like watch the language in the chat, that would really be appreciated.
Go fuck yourself. Hey, don't delete my messages.
Delete anything.
Oh, this is an abuse. This is an abuse of power right here.
Abuse of power.
This week at Bungie for the 3rd of we're in September now, boys.
I will rise up as the 90%, 99%.
Final week of Solstice of Heroes. Finish upgrading your armor before the event ends with a weekly reset on September 8th. But I didn't know this, but this is really nice. The white glow, you can continue to work towards that after Solstice is over, or Solstice of Heroes is over.
So I'm actually really happy about that because I just hit that.
So I don't need to get trials.
No, you can do that at your leisure.
So, but here's the question: can you still get the colored glows after the fact?
I don't think so. I think you'll have to buy them during Solstice of Heroes, but don't quote me on that. I think that's the situation.
Like,
do I need to complete the gear in order to unlock the ability to buy the colored glows?
No, you don't.
So
you can buy the colored glows ahead of time.
The white one is the one that you have to complete the trials and all that for.
Yeah, so you can buy the colored glows ahead of time, but you won't be able to apply them until you complete the white glow.
No.
So you can have it just kind of
No.
Wait, what? Yeah, isn't that how it works?
The white glow is the very final step. The colored ones you can equip. There's okay, they use all these different names, but I'm just going to use there's step 1 for the armor, step 2 for the armor, step 3 for the armor, step 4 for the armor. Right? Step 1 and 2 are just completing objectives. When you unlock step 3, that's the first of the legendaries.
Puppy Starlight.
And that when you unlock step 3 of the armor, are you listening? Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah.
Listen. When you finish step 3 of the armor, you can purchase the colored glows, the elemental glows from Eververse. When you finish step 4, which is the final step, which is like the Trials of Osiris, the Nightmare Ordeal, all that stuff, that will unlock without purchase, the final and white glow.
Oh.
And that one, that step 4, you will be able to work towards even after Solstice is over.
Oh, so we don't have to play Trials tonight, is what you're saying?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm gonna put down.
Puppy Starlight is adorable. So I could technically, now that I'm on step 3,
Yes.
You're on step 4,
could
dude.
buy those colored glows and apply them to my armor.
Yes, if you have completed step 3, you can purchase glows from Eververse.
Okay.
And apply
And
them.
step 4 is like the Altar of Sorrows, the Trials Winds, the Nightmare Hunt, and all that?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh,
And that gives you the white glow. And
Okay.
and it's not just a
I thought
glow, it's an ornament that has the glow in it. Yeah.
I thought it. So it's an ornament of the armor itself, and then Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was reversed. I thought completing the steps allowed you to equip the
white
gave you
glow?
the white glow first, and then you could.
Yes, you would think that would be the case. I don't know, it seems a little bit backwards, but I guess they wanted the elemental glows and the money to be accessible to the majority of players, and then the white glow is like I'm a fucking badass, I completed all of this.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm not a badass. I just got carried by some people.
Yeah, so the white glow is like the purity of the light within us. Okay, that makes sense.
What are we talking about?
I think we made it 2 sentences into the TWAB before we sidetracked.
Straight up, I think it might have been 2 sentences. Oh, nope, 3. We made it to 3. Last week, we began to serve up new information on Stasis, starting with the new trailer. This week, we dug deeper with the Warlock, Shadebinder, and Titan Behemoth subclasses. Hunters are going to be revealed on September 8th. We're going to skip over the editor's note because it's not important whatsoever. Triumphs evolve.
Also not true at all.
Okay, so this has to do with the DCV, which they shared more details about a while ago. Okay, let's see if there's anything. So, this goes over their plans to rework Triumphs, and how this is going to affect you going forward. It's a pretty big rework.
Cool. Maybe you can get your 69-420.
No, because I'm already past it.
It's about to get real weird. You might actually be able to, but
because they're taking away some Triumph.
Yeah,
they are taking away some Triumphs. And anyway, Noodle explaining it for us.
So we're updating how Triumphs will work going forward, and want to walk you through how everything will look starting on November 10th. First, the goals: provide pursuits for all players, provide seasonal pursuits that match each season of Destiny, provide destination pursuits for each new destination, ensure everyone can show off their accomplishments, make all triumphs have a score, make sure it's clear what happens when the content goes into the DCV. Hopefully this write-up will answer any questions that you may have. Okay. I'm gonna read through the majority of this just because it's all pretty pertinent information. So for Shadowkeep and the base Destiny 2 experience, we tried to do this by combining through each triumph combing through each triumph individually, looking to see if it was
found shit.
If it was still achievable, and then taking the score away from any triumph that could no longer be earned. While it achieved most of our goals, it didn't give you the ability to plan your attack to earn absolutely everything you wanted. We knew that we need to make some changes with how we are delivering triumphs to players. Okay, so what are we going to do? Okay, this is where there's going to be a big list, but it's pretty important, and actually I think it's pretty cool and a new way of doing everything. So, what are we going to do? Reorganize triumphs to make them more compatible with our evolving world. Create a career score that represents the totality of what you've done in Destiny 2. Create an active score for the things that can be done now in the live game. Focus our generic triumphs into a linear lifetime set that covers the basics of being a guardian. Organize the rest of triumphs around seasons and destinations. Track the history of what you've done as legacy triumphs. So kind of think of it as there's going to be, you know how when you go onto your little emblem and you can choose the different things you want to show on there, like your triumph score or your total kills or whatever, and it has like different options for each one. Like there's career and seasonal and like 2 others I don't remember. it's
I pretty much exclusively stick with my Triumph score because I want to show that shit off. 72,000.
Yeah. So that's kind of think of it like that. Is you're gonna have a Triumph score for everything you've earned, a Triumph score for like a seasonal quote unquote Triumph score kind of, and a couple others that I don't 100% understand. But there's going to be like new categories for Triumphs. Beyond Light will include a set of Triumphs that targets this year's destination, Europa. These Triumphs all have score. They include the content on the destination. There will be a set of Triumphs that target Season 12's contents. They will all have score. We like the pattern of rewarding seasonal currency for completing these Triumphs, which is something that I talked about before, remember? How I was saying they had continued doing that. Yeah. So they will continue to do so.
Yeah, but I think that's a move in the right direction. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's a really great idea. It really like it gives a purpose to Triumphs because up till now, except for a few exceptions, it's mostly just been bragging rights, which is good, but it's nice to get a little cash money while you're at it.
That's the main reason I play this goddamn game anymore.
Cash money.
Who's got the Platinum Starling ship? That's right, your boy Colossus does.
You got it from Twitch Prime Rewards, though, didn't you?
No, that's the Vespulator. I got the Platinum Starling ship all on my own through all of the effort that I put in the Black Armory Forges. Mwah. Thank you, Ada.
Good job.
I still really like my Titan ship, the Bull, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the
Where
Bullhorn
it's just a chonk. Like it's like a double horned chonky boy that just looks like he's just like, I want to hit you with this. Pretty much it. I just want to ram.
I like to imagine like everyone's transmatting in at once. Like myself, I'm like I superhero fist down Newt just like lights in and just Starlight just like falls from orbit and the chonker ship just keeps flying off. It's like, well,
okay. So they're going to reward currency for completing Triumphs. These Triumphs will stick around for as long as the seasonal content does. While active, seasonal Triumph score will still contribute to your active score. When the seasonal content is no longer available, the seasonal set moves under Legacy Triumphs. They will no longer contribute to your active score, but they will still contribute to your career score.
Right.
Which is based on Legacy Triumphs.
Mm-hmm.
The lifetime,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the lifetime set.
You can still collect them, but they won't contribute to your overall score. And I actually like how they've got your overarching score, but then there's the one that'll reset every season or whichever it is.
Kind of like the active score.
The quote unquote active score. Yeah.
People are a little upset about this because that means that they probably won't be able to show off a sweet 69-420 anymore. That is the unfortunate thing. But maybe there'll be enough that you can like work up to that in a season. I doubt it, but
well, I mean, it'll contribute towards your overarching score. So it's the same as how it was before. The only way that you'd consistently be able to show off the 69-420 is if you hit that number and then just stopped collecting Triumphs altogether.
Yeah.
Like you could continue to bank them in the background, but then just like hold it for a while.
And yeah, that's hard because there's many Triumphs that are like part of a quest
seasonal thing that you need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a minor thing. I mean, honestly, if people are complaining about this, it's like, get over it. It's fine.
It's a made-up potato.
The lifetime set will be about teaching players all the things you can do in Destiny. These will mostly target new players as they join our ranks. They will focus on helping players explore Destiny's sandbox and game modes. If new systems are added to the game, this pool will grow. So, and then there's a picture with all the new categories for Triumphs, and like the destination Triumphs and stuff like that. I'm gonna scroll back up to that picture eventually because there's something interesting in there.
Yeah, there is.
You keep saying Legacy Triumphs. What is that? For this
year, you keep saying Legacy Triumphs. What is that?
Wait, you keep saying Legacy Triumphs. What?
Well, luckily,
now you're saying Legacy Triumphs. What is this?
What's a Legacy Triumph?
I don't know. What's a Triumph?
Boy, you guys are in a real fucking mood today, and the mute button is being hovered over so goddamn hard.
It's just a hard cut to Newt's cursor. It's just vibrating. What's a mute button?
For this year, in-game, we'll remember... So, Legacy Triumphs. In-game, we'll remember your total Triumph score and display it on the updated Triumph screen. In-game, we'll remember every Triumph that contributed to a seal and display them under Legacy Triumphs. In-game, we'll let you browse through the seals under Legacy Triumph. You'll be able to equip the titles you've earned going forward.
Legacy Triumph.
We'll have a demonstration set targeting the Leviathan that shows how this works. We've stored the completion state of every Triumph you finished or not, even for Triumphs no longer displayed in the game.
I swear I'm listening, dude.
Legacy Triumphs will contribute to your career score, but not your active score. They're kind of restating things over and over again to really hammer home what's going on here.
Wait, what's going on?
You have to hit that 3,000 word count.
Yeah.
With Legacy Triumphs?
What's that?
Starlight, I don't
you
know
just
what
said
Legacy
Triumphs
Triumphs are. I was over in the bunker.
What was that?
Oh boy.
Hey, no new.
Hey, look, Iron Banana.
Oh, look at that. Oh my, no, that's just my Iron Banana. Hi there.
Jeez. Oh boy. Bad.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I cannot figure out how to restate you as a pod. Oh well.
This is horseshit.
Don't. That's all you gotta do. Don't.
I hate it.
Does this means some seals may no longer be earnable? Yes, with a bunch of content going into the DCV, their seals and their corresponding titles will no longer be earnable when Beyond Light is released. And then it just goes through a list of things that will be earnable and things that will be moved into Legacy. Ones that are going away in Beyond Light, no longer earnable. A Shadow Rises, the Shadow title, Reckoner. Black Armory, the Blacksmith title, Destinations, the Wayfarer title, Lore, the Chronicler, and Season 5 through Season 11 titles. No fucking duh.
Yeah. So, I abandoned my Blacksmith title pretty quickly because there's no way I was going to finish that. But the Chronicler title. So I'm pretty close to finishing the Chronicler title. The only things that I need to complete for it are Truth to Power and the Mars Senate, which both happen in the Dreaming City. Yeah. My question is, once November 10th kicks in, will I straight up not be able to complete Chronicler at all, or is it only because there are certain parts of the Chronicler that are disappearing, that are involved, that are getting vaulted? Yeah.
And just because it's vaulted doesn't mean it's gone forever. Like, they have the ability to bring it.
It's going to be gone for a long time, but that's my question is, are they just going to remove it out of the game completely, or am I going to be able to complete it because the things that I have to complete are staying in the game?
You're asking me? I do not know.
I'm asking anyone. Oh,
because the only thing you've got left is things that aren't
Dreaming City. Yeah.
They may just be taking it straight up out of the seals page, though. Like, just taking it off.
I've got some work to do. Then.
we could get it for you by November.
It's a month.
2 months.
I need to run a Last Wish raid for that, so I'm gonna have to put some time aside for that.
Still never completed a raid, so I'm always down.
Yeah, we were this close to greatness. We were this close to greatness.
I had a lot of fun doing that, even though we failed miserably.
Oh, really?
No, we did really well for our first.
Ran out of time.
Have we talked about our Whisper run yet, or did we talk about that last week?
I don't think we talked about it. We can talk about that later.
Cool.
Because just really quick. Well, here. So I wanted to say this.
God, that's a good beer.
What were you saying about Metals, Catalysts, and Lore moving? Metals and Catalysts will now have their own sections to make them more visible and easier to keep track of. Lore will also have its own section and a brand new UI to show off the book covers and improve their reading experience. All lore through Season of Arrivals will be available to all players. The game will still show how many of the pages you earned, but everyone will be able to read everything now. So if you want to see X out of X pages earned, go earn any missing lore pages before the end of the season as well. New lore will be unlocked through triumphs going forward and eventually made available to everyone they become Legacy triumphs.
If I may.
Well, there you go.
Wait,
we know it's a lot to absorb, but we think this moves us sort of.
If I can just.
Yes, what were you gonna say? Honestly, none of that was super important. I just wanted to keep reading to keep cutting.
Yeah, I know. It worked well. No, I was gonna say I'm actually a pretty big fan of how they're going about this, because one of the main complaints about lore in the game is the accessibility to it, and it's not a great user interface either for reading the lore. Like you have to. It takes a long time to get in there. Then you have to open one tab, back out, open the second tab, back out.
I mean, sorry, it takes a long time for console users.
yeah, that's part of it.
It's straight up so true.
Like, we're just like, oh, tab through lore, like,
yeah,
click. Yeah, no, it's. But I'm glad that they're finally making it more accessible, because this is one of the best parts of Destiny is the lore. And if you guys want more lore, you can check out the Lore Mind podcast on the Another Destiny podcast Spotify page, and see what we have to offer there.
Speaking of lore as well,
yeah.
So I believe you are well aware. Yeah, I think you mentioned it to me. What I wanted to go over in this picture that was in the TWAB of the different Destiny trials.
Probably. I think it might be the same thing that I'm thinking about, but yeah.
Do you want to talk? Let's talk about it now, and then we can move on. There's still a fair amount of the TWAB left to go through. Well,
there is a fair amount. We could.
No, let's. Never mind. There's just a couple like little things to mention. So why don't you just go into that, because there's not much to go into.
So are you talking about the second badge over from the left?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So if you guys go into this week at Bungie, into the TWAB, you will they'll show like how the lore page, how the Triumphs tab is going to be set out, and it looks like they've actually got a dark mode on, which is pretty sweet, as opposed to like the light mode, which because darkness.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's much more pleasing on the eyes, and I'm actually really Starlight. What is that face? But I'm actually a really big fan of it. But like I was saying, the second badge over from the left, this might be familiar to some of you. It looks like two triangles, one overlaid on top of the other. That is the exact same badge that's on the Crow's chest plate in the original Destiny 1 release trailer.
And who wears
the
Aldrin chest plate?
Crow?
And who is currently wearing the Crow's chest plate in all of our?
It's Aldrin. That is what's on Aldrin's chest plate.
So we're gonna kill him.
And actually, we already did, maybe, again. Allegedly. But
let's kill his ghost.
That's I don't actually know if it was on his final armor piece, like throughout the actual Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 campaign, but in the original Destiny 1 release trailer, when our Guardian encounters him and pulls a hand cannon and points it at him, he says, and your Guardian goes, "Why don't we just talk about this?" And he says, "This is how we talk out here in the wild,"
or something along those lines.
Or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, yeah, but that's the image that's on his chest plate. And so, why is it located directly onto Aldrin? And they said that things would be location specific. Am I correct on that? So this leads me to believe that Aldrin, or the Crow, he's not Aldrin anymore. He'll be the Crow. He's curious as to why Guardians in the Vanguard are constantly attacking him when he doesn't know who he is. I think he's going to be the vendor for the Cosmodrome.
Yeah. Or at least something.
Because like directly below that, we have a fallen insignia, which is probably
Spider.
Probably the Tangled Shore. Then directly to the right of it, we have some hidden swarm imagery, which is obviously the moon. And then to the left of that might be Nessus. Bottom left is Dreaming City.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got some big implications from this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I really like the dark mode. I didn't even think about that when I first saw it, but that's nice.
I don't really understand the idea around making Aldrin like the vendor though, because I'm gonna kill him, so he won't be able to vend anything because he's gonna be dead again.
No, but he's a Guardian, so his ghost will just resonate.
So we'll kill his ghost.
No, you won't.
That's
that's pulled pork.
Hey, we're getting darkness powers for a reason, and if darkness powers let me murder ghosts so that
he's not the same person. I will argue this to the day I die. Yes, I hated Aldrin when he was alive, when he was who he was, and when he was manipulated by Riven. He didn't know what he was doing properly, but he's not Aldrin anymore. God
he killed Cade.
Not this version of him. It's a different version.
Of him killed Cade. The crimes of the father are passed to the son. Blah blah blah.
But it's not even the father or son. It's the same fucking same body, different people.
Iron Banner's returning.
Cool. Great.
Lord Saladin returns to tower. Again next week. So it begins on 10 a.m. Pacific time on September 8th, and will end a week later. So once again, you have another opportunity to earn the auto rifle and the sidearm. Have you ever been trying to pull a specific weapon from your vault in the middle of a strike and had to wait precious seconds for it to transmit into your inventory? With the latest improvements,
console users.
Improvements transferring items with the companion app or the third-party apps is now roughly 10 times faster than before.
Didn't take long before though. From the from the companion app, it really wasn't that bad at all.
And then so there's gonna be an update on Tuesday of September 8th. Destiny will be taken offline at 9:45 a.m. And we'll be back online at 10 a.m. Well, they say 10 a.m., so it'll actually be like 11.
Yeah, is that PST?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always just assume it is because they're based in Seattle.
So we're actually gonna have to release all of this before reset. You realize, right? Like we're gonna have to release this episode tonight or like tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I could do that.
Sweet.
Well, resets on Tuesday, so it's fine. Just release it on Monday.
Yeah, well, if it goes out on Monday morning.
It gives people more time.
Not that anybody is going to be listening to podcasts on Monday because it's never mind. I guess it's not a holiday everywhere.
It is for Canada.
So
the first day shift stat holiday that I've gotten in 2020, which I don't know if you know this, but day shift stat holidays for me are very lucrative because I work 12-hour shifts. So
don't mind me, just trying to get my phone up somewhere that has reception.
Are you sure you're not just flexing?
A reminder: players will need to be sure to unlock and equip the following titles before this date to guarantee. November 10th is the date to guarantee that the completions are recorded on their counts. That is the Shadow title, the Reckoner title, the Blacksmith title, Wayfarer, Chronicler, and Forerunner.
Yeah. So if you've completed them, but you're real slacking about it, like, oh, I'll just equip it later, but you've completed it, but you haven't equipped it on your character, bye title.
Yeah.
You will not, like, all of your work will be for naught.
I can't imagine there's anybody that would unlock a title and be like, I just got this, but I don't really feel like putting it on. You're like, oh, I got it, put it on right now.
Click.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's accidentally gotten a seal.
I did. No, I did.
That doesn't count. That's not a seal that anyone cares about anymore.
Wayfarer.
Oh yeah.
I had to grind for Savior, and I was just like, apply.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, you brought it down to the wire on that one. God, that was a good time.
It was like the day of, yeah.
I remember I was scrubbing the LFG forums looking for somebody to carry us through that final sundial run. I was like, guys, please, my friend needs help. Help us.
Okay. So, next up, this is the really cool stuff, I think. So this is the Stasis Spotlight. This one came out on September 1st, and it has to do with the Warlock Shadebinder. So this was the first look we got at how the new subclass is going to work, which is eventually going to be how just subclasses in general works, provided they like the way that it all works out. So
I will say I was expecting something more along the lines of Destiny 1.
Yeah.
This is not what I expected at all.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And it here, I'll read through it first, and then we can give our thoughts on it. Okay, so Warlock Shadebinder, Fracture with Frost. Okay, blah 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 blah. No class embodies the concept of freezing better than the Warlock Shadebinder. Imbued by stasis energy, the Shadebinder can summon a stasis staff that fires projectiles which can freeze opponents, immediately rendering them immobile. The Penumbral Blast melee attack is a quick burst of stasis energy that erupts from the staff and instantly freezes anyone it hits. From there, the Warlock can either deal with the frozen foes or leave them be and move on to other more immediate threats. If you're looking to combine freezing with destruction, look no further than the Super Winter's Wrath. Here, the Shadebinder summons their stasis staff and fires projectiles that instantly freeze opponents. The second stage begins, and the fight ends when the Guardian raises the staff, detonates its stasis crystal and sends a devastating shatter shockwave that disintegrates nearby frozen opponents.
So fucking cool.
So, as people were saying from looking at the very first reveal of gameplay that didn't have a ton of details that came with it, the supers have like 2 stages to them, which is pretty interesting. And
it's gonna take me a bit to get my head wrapped around that. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's kind of similar to how like bubble versus shield. Like you can bubble.
Yeah, a little bit.
Press and hold.
But this looks like one part of it flows into the other really nicely.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see how it goes.
I feel like the closest thing we've had to it is in Destiny 1, one of the Titan smashes did a first, impact damage, but then it left a shockwave on the ground.
Yeah. It was called Aftershock.
It's kind of like that, right? Like you have your initial impact, and then the shockwave remains and kills enemies that are within it.
Okay. So the initial one is an active attack that you make. Then the secondary stage is passive, I guess.
Yeah, sorta.
That's
the closest I could think of to compare this to, at least. Okay, so I'm actually gonna scroll back up and read through. Okay, there's a little picture on here which looks pretty fucking badass of the Warlock with its staff.
Question.
Actually, I don't really need to read through.
Question for you guys. So it says here, when the Guardian raises the staff, detonates its stasis crystal, and sends a devastating shatter shockwave that disintegrates nearby frozen opponents. Do you think they'll be able to do that at any given time? Like, do you think you'll be able to press and hold, for example, on Bumper Jumper, press and hold A again, and that'll end the super with that shockwave?
I don't know. I really have no idea.
Because I can't see it being like, I think they would want to give the agency to the player to be able to pull that off, as opposed to it just going off at the end of your super being done.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel like it's so hard to guess because this is so unlike anything we've had before.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Speculation abounds.
Yeah.
Let's go. Learning and adventure. Yay.
There's also a mention of detonates its stasis crystal, which I think is touched on later.
It's probably just the crystal at the top of the staff, like Gandalf style.
Well, because I can't remember exactly what it is, but you're going to be able to create and pick up crystals of stasis and use those as well in gameplay. But
damn. All right.
Yeah, I won't speculate on that much.
Oh my god, I forgot how much beer makes me gassy.
Sorry, Newt. Oh, so gassy.
So gassy.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Good thing Lady Colossus isn't sleeping over tonight, or else I would just Dutch oven the hell out of the bed sheets. Oh god.
Remind me to bring that up.
So we're not coming over for dinner anymore.
Don't worry, I know where she lives.
Oh, that's so weird. God, why do you have to say that online?
Okay. With Beyond Light and Stasis, we're giving you even more flexibility to customize your subclass. I would argue we're giving you flexibility to customize your subclass to your style of play.
Yep.
Yeah, the flexibility from before is kind of like...
Well,
yeah. A
It
slight
was just
5-degree bend.
Hey, do you not like your grenades? Here's some slightly different grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so each Stasis subclass will give players the ability to customize abilities like grenades, movement mods, class abilities, and so on. We've added new layers of customization with the addition of aspects and fragments. Aspects manifest as physical items in the world, such as a crystallized Vex Conflux or a robotic fallen arm, for example. I got really excited when I first read that because I thought it meant you would have a robotic fallen arm.
Right.
But it's more like the seasonal artifact kind of.
It's like a seasonal artifact, but it's...
Yeah.
Oh, it's more akin to the class items? What were they called back in D1?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're
those.
talking about.
That just kind of give you a boost to your stats.
Like the one where if you... What was it? The one that like let you... If you blocked with a sword, it would reflect projectiles and... Those ones.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was all the Iron Lord shields. I can't remember what they were called.
There were also them before that where it would mostly would just give you like another boost to your stats and like one stat in particular.
Oh, yeah.
I think Wei Ning's
Yeah,
Gong or something like that.
yeah. Man, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so and there are like rings, and then there was like a Gate Lord's. Might have been a Gate Lord's Eye. It was like a fragment of a planet taken over by the Vex. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, it's been a while. What are those called?
I don't
Let
remember.
me let me look this up while you keep talking.
Sure. Okay, so aspects. Physical items in the world. When slotted in, aspects will offer players new abilities among other effects. These abilities can be mixed and matched freely by the player. Many
Artifacts.
artifacts. No. Many
That was it.
aspects will have. We should just guess.
Wait,
That's such
no,
a.
hold on.
That's the season.
Wait a minute.
That's
Are they
from
actually?
this. That's from Destiny 2.
No, they are actually rare. Artifacts are rare objects and curiosities collected by guardians. Unlike armor class items, shapers, and ghost shells,
Ah,
artifacts do not alter the player's appearance in any way when equipped. Instead, their primary benefit lies in their ability to further boost the player's intellect, discipline, and strength values.
okay.
Cool. That's from D1 for the
Yeah.
record. Yeah.
Aspects will offer players new. I already read that.
Cool.
Many aspects will have space for fragments to be slotted in. Fragments are also physical items you can discover in the world that, when applied to aspects, offer additional passive perks such as stat bonuses that may come with penalties, kind of like Charged with Light, those mods that we have currently.
Right.
Aspect upgrades are unique to each Stasis subclass, while fragment slots are class agnostic. How players combine these two different types of upgrades will lead to a range of customization options.
So you said aspects were class agnostic?
No. Aspect upgrades are unique to each Stasis subclass, while fragment slots are class agnostic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then they have a couple pictures just showing you the different things, like the different abilities that you can slot in, the different aspects that you can slot in, and the different fragments that you can slot in.
Right.
So, for example, for the Warlock one that's showing here, the aspect is called Frost Pulse, Conflux Trap, Motionless, and Crystal. Casting your Rift generates a shockwave that freezes nearby combatants. Yeah. And then one of the fragments that they have slotted into this aspect is a Whisper of Bonds. Defeating frozen targets with weapons grants you super energy, but you receive -10 intellect and -10 discipline for that.
Yeah, so it grants fragment. A debuff.
Yeah, which is a lot. I feel like that might be a little bit too much.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Although, actually, yeah, that being said, I feel like everyone's getting like pretty decent armor stat rolls at this point.
I would say so, yeah. If I was doing Warlock, I would 100% be going for Frost Pulse. Because, like, I don't want to have to equip 2 different mods to, like, my armor just to get even with, like, when there's something that doesn't affect when there's a mod that wouldn't affect my stats in any way, but would also grant additional super energy for menial, like, kills on certain objects.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost done here. So I'm just going to finish it out. Because we still have the Titan to go over and then the NVIDIA reveal. Okay, so just give a quick example. For example, a Warlock finds a Frost Pulse aspect in the world and equips it. This aspect augments the Rift ability. The Frost Pulse aspect also has a fragment slot available, allowing further customization. They decide to slot. I don't know how
you just completely skipped over the second part of that sentence there.
Allowing.
This aspect augments their Rift ability, which now freezes any enemy caught in the field.
Yeah, I know. That was covered in the picture there. That was the one that this is the one that they just showed.
Oh, gotcha.
Also has a fragment slot available, allowing further customization. They decide to slot in the Whisper of Refraction fragment that replenishes some of their ability energy upon shattering enemies. They have now set themselves up with a nice 1-2 punch, and if played skillfully, can use this combo frequently. So they're showing how, like, it's not just this ability and this ability. It's like, use this ability, and then if you follow it up by this one with this one, you're going to reap the rewards for combining those together.
So basically what I'm seeing here is they're taking the customization of armor and, like, applying that theory to your super and to your subclass, and then just expanding on it in a huge way. It looks really good. Like and obviously, like, looking at this with a visual in front of you really helps visualize how it's all going to work for you. So if you guys do have the chance, please go and look it up on the on Bungie.net, because it'll clarify quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay, that was pretty much the end of the Warlock one. Next up we have the Titan. Do you want to read through this one, Cole?
Yeah, I got it.
Because you're a Titan. But first of all, okay, so I just want to say,
just completely blitzing over what Starlight does in this entire game. You're a Titan too, Starlight.
Well, Starlight's got plenty fucking all to talk about.
I got
after
some
this.
stuff to talk about.
That's actually a fair point.
So,
yeah.
That was why I was like, Cole's got the behemoth. But it's called the Shiver Strike. I think it's their super. And yeah, so it's called the Shiver Strike because, you know, you shiver like you're cold, I guess. But I like to imagine it that it's like a shiv. Just like shiv, shiv, shiv. Stab, stab, stab. That's just the image that I like to bring to mind. Okay, Cole.
All right, so we're getting into... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, take it away.
Yes, sir. So we're getting into Stasis Spotlight, the Titan Behemoth, September 3rd, 2020. So I'll just go over, so it gives you a little bit of an overview here, which is what I'll go over first. So the Titan Behemoth, and the tagline for it is crashed like an avalanche. Behemoths are high offense and high defense, creating solid stasis crystals to provide cover or platforms from which to leap during their super. Whoa, never mind. That was a period. What? That's absolutely a typo. Okay. Creating solid stasis crystals to provide cover or platforms from which to leap. During their super, behemoths can jump higher, faster, and farther with unlimited melee energy and high damage mitigation. So the super itself is called Glacial Quake. Behemoths compel stasis energy to attach to their body, covering themselves in the frozen darkness, forming a stasis gauntlet on one hand, increasing their damage resistance in the process, which is pretty sweet. And so the melee ability is called Shiver Strike. The Shiv Strike. The behemoth summons a stasis gauntlet and lunges forward with explosive speed, smashing through anything in their way. Upon reaching their target, they unleash a devastating jab. Yeah, there you go. That sends their foe careening backwards while slowing nearby enemies. And then ground control.
Major Tom.
Mom. Yeah, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Like one of us was going to do it. Ground control looks like it's a... So Shiver Strike is basically a shoulder charge ability, while ground control is similar to Ballistic Slam. The behemoth slams their gauntlet into the ground, sending out tremors of powerful stasis energy that leave crystals in their wake and freeze all enemies in the vicinity. So it's quite similar to the Striker subclass in a lot of this. So, Titan Smash. Two things that simply go hand in hand. There are a few combat situations in Destiny 2 that can't be solved, or at least made better, by a quick Titan punch to the face. Am I right? Oh. When Beyond Light is... Yeah, I'm good. Don't worry about me.
It's a rare strain of the coronavirus where instead of a cough, you get
just uncontrollable belching.
Yeah.
When Beyond Light is released this November, Guardians who prefer the Titan class, my boys and girls, will discover a new subset of stasis powers that allows them to harness the power of the darkness. And yes, fisticuffs will be a part of it. But it's not the entire story. As we discussed in our previous edition of this series, thank you very much, Newt, each stasis subclass will embody a facet of stasis. Warlock Shadebinders emphasize freezing enemies and, as you'll learn more about the next week, the Hunter Revenant is such a cool name. The Hunter Revenant is a specialist at slowing the action down. The Titan Behemoth uses stasis as a means of both creation and destruction.
God, that picture's so cool.
I was about to say, man. I actually saved it, and I'm putting that into my wallpaper. Into my wallpaper cycle. Yeah,
good choice.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I should. Yeah, I'm gonna take.
They're all really cool, actually.
They're all really cool, but the new Titan helmet, especially when it's covered in stasis crystals, looks a lot like a helmet from Halo Reach. Like you could transpose that design, toss it into Halo Reach, and be like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
See, one thing that tangent.
No,
one thing that I'm really excited for with all of these ornaments is like I understand that we're losing the farm, but like if like other places in the EDZ that would be fantastic for this, making like a camping machinima using Destiny where everyone's just wearing like full camping gear because like the hunter,
that's-
like the warlock literally has like a rucksack.
We all have backpacks, yeah.
Yeah, so like everything's just camping. And I'm just
And
like,
that's
oh my god, could we please?
I think that's the aesthetic that the new Europa gear is going for. Like,
well, yeah, because it's like Arctic exploration style.
Exactly. That's exactly
which
it,
I can totally get behind, but I'm loving the aesthetic of like you just have a bunch of emotes like I
Also,
hope
actually,
that they have, like I don't know if they currently have this, but I hope that they have like a warming by the fire emote because I think that would be fantastic.
God,
like
that'd be
for
awesome.
everyone in their camping gear, just like it can be a multiplayer emote with like everyone like stand around the fire.
That's a really good idea.
If one person has the marshmallow, like the marshmallow stick one, it can be like cooking marshmallows. I'm just the machinima.
Right, the machinima possibilities are endless on this.
Bungie has
also,
always
I would like to point out
machinima people, so I feel like that's a must-have.
That the chest piece for this new armor has a gigantic fur collar that's bigger than the Intrepid Exploit one.
Yep.
It's huge. Anyway, where was I?
They look like flyboys. They look like old school like winter flight.
Yes, and see, we took the Germans down. Yes, they may have taken down 100 of our planes, but we took down 102 of theirs. Anyway, Revenant is a specialist at slowing the action down. I don't know what that was. The Titan Behemoth uses stasis as a means of both creation and destruction. With the Behemoth, we wanted to put an emphasis on the ability to use stasis to create crystals that can alter the battle by changing the very ground beneath your feet. Control the ground, control the fight. As a result, the Behemoth can use their stasis abilities defensively, such as creating crystalline walls to block enemies and gunfire, or offensively, by using crystals to freeze enemies. The Titan Behemoth can unleash a powerful melee attack known as the Shiver Strike. Here, the Titan lunges forward, launched by a stasis explosion at their feet, so you're leaning forward with this, to propel them towards an enemy. While in midair, they summon a stasis gauntlet that covers their fist and then slam into their foe, sending them careening backwards and slowing nearby enemies, as I mentioned up above. And then once again, we have an awesome graphic with that servitor looking fucked up.
Yeah.
So depending on how drastic the careening backwards is, like we're gonna get that like ability to just push people off the edge, like just be like, and then they fall backwards, just like damn you.
You know what I can't wait for as well?
Yes, it's gonna be like a handheld.
Depending on how violent it is, having your teammate stand behind an enemy, hitting the enemy, sending them into your teammate, and launching your teammate. That'll be a good one too.
Ooh, do you think with higher level enemies you can play ping pong? Like
So Newt, I was actually wrong. I'm gonna go back and reference. So when I was talking about the different seals there, where we were talking about Uldren, the Crow, and everything, and how we've got like the Dreaming City and all that.
Yeah.
The one to the right of it, of Uldren's, is not in fact the moon. That is Aramis's seal, because if you look on the side of the servitor there's a symbol on the side of it that matches up with the symbol in the TWAB.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be Europa's location.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So the Behemoth Super Glacial Quake begins with the Titan forming a mighty gauntlet on their fist. They can then slam the gauntlet into the ground, sending out shockwaves that form stasis crystals which freeze nearby enemies. Covered in an armor of stasis crystals, the Titan temporarily becomes an unstoppable wrecking machine. Tell that to the Crucible. Able to jump higher, faster, and farther, all while blasting enemies with greatly increased melee attacks. And then we have like a One Punch Man-esque graphic of him rearing back and ready to slam down with him falling. One punch! If frozen enemies are the bowling pins, think of the Titan Behemoth during their Glacial Quake Super as the bowling ball, able to instantly shatter enemies as they sprint or slide through them. Running amok in a crowd of bad guys and shattering them like a perfect 10-pin strike is a fine strategy, but there's a degree of subtlety there too if you want. For example, this is where it actually gets kind of complicated. For example, you can cancel out of a slide into a massive stasis-powered leap, only to cancel that just at the right moment and direct the Behemoth downward into a devastating slam. So, punch if you must, but know that stasis has plenty more to offer you, Titan. And then we've got a couple of, so we've got let me see, for an aspect, we've got something called the Tectonic Harvest, which is a petrified grip grasping for something once held but now lost. Your hand creates power from nothing, which looks like a fallen arm. I think
it does, a frozen fallen arm.
Yeah. And the effect of that is shattering a stasis crystal creates a stasis shard. This shard grants melee energy when picked
Oh,
up by you or your allies.
that
Oh,
was what
that's
I was
cool.
thinking of, not
Yeah.
crystals, shards.
Oh, and that takes up 2 fragment slots. So it looks like interesting. Okay, weird. Okay,
No,
so
that
it looks
means
like
it has 2 fragment slots. Because you aspects come
okay.
with fragment slots, so that means it has 2 fragment slots available.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, yeah. So the aspects will have different amount of slots to them. Okay, that's cool. And then for a fragment, we have something called the Whisper of Durance. Slow from your ability, like the slow effect from your ability lasts longer. For those abilities that linger, their duration will also increase. This also gives you a buff in strength, like plus 10 strength.
You
So
know what's
that's
crazy though?
what's
If you
up.
look down on the left there,
Mm-hmm.
under resilience, they've got
Mm-hmm.
a negative 52.
That's
No,
not
no,
correct.
it's down to 52.
It's down to 52.
Oh, you're
So
right.
it's
Because if
negative
you
10. It's negative
Gotcha.
10.
yeah,
Okay.
It's down to 52 and strength is up
Right,
to
duh.
29. But
Never
that
mind.
could just be because there's something else equipped there.
Yeah, the other fragment
So
must have
the
a
other
negative.
fragment probably has a negative effect.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
honestly, why would you not just buff the fuck out of yourself and give yourself like insane
Yeah.
stats?
Yeah.
well, after,
Because
well,
like
because
you could
I'm
with
willing to
this,
bet you can only equip a certain amount of ones that are completely beneficial to you, and then it'll be like
I
it'll
doubt.
it'll be like any of the other armor
Oh,
mods like recently
yeah.
that give you debuffs and everything to your
Yeah, like you
stats.
can't have 2 empowered friends
Yeah,
or whatever the fuck it's called.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm
Um,
willing to bet that you won't be able to stack them. But anyway, I'll get through these last 2 sentences here. So
yeah.
next week we'll be going deeper into stasis with our look at the third and final subclass, the Hunter Revenant.
and no one cares about the hunter. Let's move on.
Well, no, Starlight, I was
Um,
going to ask you to read the Hunter Revenant when we get to it. How do you make the quickest class even more deadly? By slowing down everything around them. That's how.
oh, so we're being the Flash is what hunters are
That's
now.
been
The
hunters
hunters
are
are just
becoming the Flash
the
apparently.
Flash.
I'm willing to
Okay.
bet that their resilience is going to drop significantly
Yeah. It'll
from all of that.
probably be a fair
So
amount of negative 10 resilience
yeah,
on the fragments.
yeah. Is there anything that you guys want to go over from that?
I mean, not really, other than it looks pretty badass. And what you were saying before with the Warlock Shadebinder about being able to cancel out of the shatter
Mhm.
of their super, I think maybe you're right, because there's kind of an aspect of that in the Titan where you can cancel.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's a little complicated to figure out what they mean. I think once we get into the game, it'll make sense, but it's hard to kind of tell what they're
I'm
talking
assuming
about.
that when you're like launching through the air, there's going to be a moment where you're like doing a like you're drawing
Like,
kind of like when
yeah,
you're
where you're
shooting
charging
a
your
shadow
fist up.
shot. When like
Yeah.
it's like have the moment where you're drawing the bow, it's going to be like the drawback, and in that moment you can just be like nope,
Yeah.
and then straight down,
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
something like that.
Well, very similar to the Thunder Crash, not Thunder Crash, but Ballistic Slam. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely not Fists of Havoc. Fists of Havoc is just like we're going and you're along for the ride.
Oh, new. Do you remember that video that was circulating from? Oh, this is going to be a throwback. It was from a video from Destiny 1, and it was the Crucible map where it was on Venus, and it was Vex themed, and there were 2 islands essentially separated by man cannons on either side. Do you remember that map?
Yeah, it's been
And
Crucible.
Roughly.
there were teleporters that you could like teleport to the very back of the
Yeah.
floating island and run around in it. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yes, yes.
yeah. And this one Titan, he was running, he jumped and
It was
to
on
use his fist
Mercury,
of
I
havoc,
think.
but sorry?
It was on Mercury, I think.
No, it was Venus because Mercury didn't exist in D1.
Oh, Mars then.
No,
think.
no, it was definitely on
Uranus.
Venus.
I think it was somewhere with deserts. Anyways, doesn't matter.
No, it was lush and verdant. But anyway,
Uranus
but
is
yeah,
a
so
desert?
this guy goes to use his fist of havoc against some enemies, but I can't remember how he got knocked off. But he landed in one of the man cannons and just like got sent over, and then like landed in another one, sent back over, and slammed against the wall and died. I wonder if I can find it, but but yeah, that's all I've got on the Titan Behemoth right now. But man, I just want November to be here already. I didn't think I would get this invested in a new subclass because originally I was a little bit like, oh, they're interested in introducing a new subclass. But I think we're approaching like a Taken King-esque moment in Destiny, except they're it's going to be on a massive scale. Because essentially what we're experiencing is they're working up into what's supposed to be quote unquote D3, but they want to stick with the Destiny 2 title and have it be an ever evolving game. And I don't know, somebody stopped me on my rant here.
I just one thing I was gonna say. Sorry, I think I might have found it here, and it is on Mars. Aha! Proven right.
No, that can't be right.
One person.
Do you mind sending me the link?
Okay, hang on. But I remember someone was saying like, this feels like the most like what we're like. This feels like the closest we're gonna have to Destiny 3. And I was thinking, I feel like it's almost more like this feels like Destiny. Like it's almost like backwards from Destiny 3 in that this is like
the return to the roots.
Yeah, or like this is them like being like, okay, we're gonna be sticking with this game for a long time. This is Destiny, not just Destiny 2.
Yeah, I can respect that actually. Yeah, I can get behind that. Like what was they said that they like despite the number like in the Vidoc that they released, like despite the number beside it, this will always be Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, just a second. I'm just sending that to you now, and then we'll switch over to
So we're just gonna completely skip over movies of the week or what?
Yes.
Yep.
So it's gonna be no different than any other week.
Yeah, sorry, content creators.
Okay.
Just know that we enjoy you on our own time, just not.
Yeah,
that's true. We do.
Oh, hey, look, would you, Newt, while you're throwing shit up on screen, I'm
rolling dice like a big old nerd over here.
You know what? No, you did the thing. Anyway, I'm not reading through this. I kind of already have my
Julie,
own
do the
tabs.
thing.
Yeah, this is just something to have up.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going over the 30 series announcements for those of us who are cultured and like PC.
Sip, slurp, slurp, my friend.
Slurp, slurp.
Real quick.
Yes, Mr. Host, Mr. I can do whatever I want. I'm a moderator. Look at me, I got all the power. Wait, no, don't you dare. Please don't mute me.
Mute. Yep, yes, go on, Newt.
I was just going to say, for any of our listeners who play on console or just aren't very interested in like different aspects of PC building, I think this is probably going to be the extent of our Destiny conversation, right?
Unless we go back to lore, this isn't going to be long. This is
Cole,
mostly.
Do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about? No. Okay, I guess not. He's
nothing. No lore daddy this week.
Yeah, he's not saying anything, so I guess not. Okay, hang on. I'll unmute him. Sorry, Cole.
I have a couple things to say.
Yes.
I don't really have any lore set up right now, but if we get to the end of the conversation and we still want to keep it rolling, then we could probably whip something out. So,
well, I feel like by the end of this conversation, we'll be running pretty long, but
which is okay.
Yeah. So to any listeners who are mostly Destiny fans and not really interested in PC building, this is probably the extent of a Destiny talk. If you stick around, there might be a bit of lore at the end, but we don't really have anything planned. Just a heads up, and if you're hopping off now, thanks very much for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Okay. Let's talk some. Oh, I'm excited. I'm real
son of a
excited.
bitch. It was Mars.
Yeah, it was Mars.
God damn it.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to start now?
Yeah, Starlight, why don't you?
Well, hey guys. So,
okay, actually, wait. Can I set this up real quick? I'm sorry. I know, but I just want people to understand like what my past week has kind of been in terms of gaming, where I've almost even been feeling a bit bad because we've been convincing Cole and other people to get into the PC gaming, and it's so fucking good. Like PC gaming is so fucking good, but I was like, okay, but like looking at the Xbox coming out, like people are saying it's gonna be pretty good. Microsoft's like, there's theories about them coming out with a mouse and keyboard for Xbox. Like
what?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh god, like, are we making a mistake? Are we convincing Cole to spend all this money and then he's gonna wish he'd gotten an Xbox? And I was like, oh wow, consoles are like,
just do what I do and get an Xbox anyway.
Yeah. But it's like, wow, consoles are actually
I don't have money.
Getting pretty even with PC, and man, it's it's really good for them. But
NVIDIA, choo, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then NVIDIA just pulls the fucking Kool-Aid man, just like, boom, what's up, motherfuckers? I was like, whoa, okay, never mind. PCs are still way fucking ahead.
For those of you who don't understand what we're talking about, and maybe in the process of, maybe you just built your first PC, you're rocking like an 8-core, 16-thread 3700X. You're kicking it with a 2070 Super. You've got a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. You're just shredding games left and right. Everything you've worked for is worthless, and you should feel bad.
Okay, this is officially the Starlight Show now. I'm gonna go turn on a fan because it's getting really fucking hot in here.
I actually have to go and use the washroom, so I'll be right back.
Do what you gotta do, because I got words to say on
Cole, go first, and then I'll...
So, 3070. 3 GPUs announced from NVIDIA, part of the 30 series lineup. They've dropped the 3060 for now. I'm sure it'll come back in like 3 months. They'll announce it. The 2060 was announced as like a budget version of the 20 series anyway, so I'm sure we're going to get a budget version of the 30 series by like spring easily. Anyway, long story short, you've got the boom 3070, boom 3080, boom. Who said 90? I said 3090. So starting $500 roughly 600 and some odd Canadian pesos. You've got the 3070. 3070 is going to be running you equivalent performance, or no, I'm sorry, better performance than the 2080 Ti. The 2080 Ti in Canada is ranging between $1,800 and $2,200 currently. So you're going to be able to get that for about $650. So if you bought a 2080 Ti in Canada in the last 2 months, you're stupid.
Or just very, very, very unlucky.
Let's go with very, very, very unlucky, because I actually feel like I jumped the gun in January, and I bought this GPU in January and I love it. It's fantastic. You know what else I bought? A 1440p 21:9 ultra wide monitor at like 144. You know what doesn't hit 21:9 1440p and super intensive games? A 2070 Super. You kind of this is kind of a creme de la creme monitor, and I'm just like, I can get it with a high end. Oh Jesus. I can get by with like a high end GPU. Not like the highest end, but this is like a fantastic fucking monitor, and I'm thinking that I can just slide on by with the 2070 Super, which to be fair, I can in like 99% of games. You know what games I'm looking to play though? The ones that are hard for my GPU to push 144.
Crisis?
Yeah, right? Crisis.
Yeah. Okay, my turn to go.
Go and do your thing. So the 3070 is going to give you, if you are, and also slight disclaimer, this is everything that NVIDIA has announced. We don't have any 100% benchmarks from independent testers that have gotten their hands on the GPU and they're testing it out.
Okay.
So take everything that I'm about to say with a grain of salt. For $500 you can pick up a 3070. The 3070 is going to be on par or better, we're thinking, than the 2080 Ti, which is insane. The 2080 Super is the 3070 is going to be kicking ass against the 2080 Ti, putting it like out of the race essentially. The 3080 is going to be twice as fast as the 2080. So if you have a 2080, you're done. Like the 2080 is obsolete now. Like if it still works for your needs, like,
and it does,
for which it will for most people, and you're pushing, if you're still a 1080p gamer on a 16:9 monitor, do not upgrade to the 30 series. If you are playing in 1080p, do not upgrade to the 30 series GPUs. You do not need them. That being said, if you wanted to upgrade to the 30 series GPUs, you could like set aside some money and get maybe a 1440p monitor. It looks really pretty. I'm just saying. So I'm getting super off track just because I'm so freaking excited to throw my money at NVIDIA.
For the CEO of NVIDIA walks out of the main building. He's like, all right, another day at the office. A duffel bag hits him on the side of the head. Starlight's like, give me
take my money. So
the man goes to the hospital with a massive concussion, but a bag full of money.
3070 is going to be outperforming the 2080 Ti by all projections. The 3080 is going to be double the 2080, not the 2080 Ti. It'll be double the 2080 performance according to NVIDIA for $700. And then we're getting into the 3090 series, which you don't need. You do not need a 3090. You do not need
10,500 cores.
You do not need any of this
combined.
This is meant to play pretty much. This is going to be hitting 60 frames per second, which is like the beginning of good quality gaming. It's going to be hitting 60 frames at 8K. That's if you have a 4K. If you have a 4K
ridiculous.
TV, it's double the resolution of your 4K TV, which is already ridiculous. No one needs to be gaming at 4K. Like, it's 1440p is the sweet spot.
Yeah,
it's widely accepted as the sweet spot by like most gamers.
If you have, and like, isn't it true that like if you have a 4K TV, you don't see the 8K, right? I think.
You can't push. Also, so here's the thing: you can't push. I don't know all about it, but like HDMI 2.1 can push 8K resolutions. But you need like G-Sync to use G-Sync on FreeSync compatible monitors. We're getting into this whole thing with like variable sync rates, which is really important, and you should research it on your own time. But in order to use variable sync technology with NVIDIA GPUs on a FreeSync monitor, you need to use the DisplayPort. So you're not going to be able to take advantage of the 8K anyway, like for HDMI 2.1 and the G-Sync if you have an 8K FreeSync monitor, which like would be insanity. Like, I spent more money on this more money on this monitor than I did on my GPU, which means if the GPU is not pushing 144 frames to the monitor, I'm gonna upgrade the GPU. I'm sorry, the GPU, it's beautiful. I love it. I would never trade it for anything in the world except for maybe a 3090 because apparently I hate my wallet as much as I love my frames. So, long story short,
dangerous combination.
Yeah, right. So, also, I have a dangerous position in my life where I say this every week, I feel like, but I can work as much overtime as I want. So the difference for me between getting a 3080 and a 3090 is like, do I just suffer for a month? And if you suffer for a month, you get the 3090 and then you have the best GPU that's commercially available.
Yeah.
But long story short, NVIDIA is just crapping on all of their previous GPUs with this 30 series. If you are gaming at 1080, look for the people who are drowning trying to sell their 2080 Ti's and their 2080s for $500. If you like, because if they're trying to sell you a 20 series for less than or for more than $600, they're out to lunch, because you can get equitable performance. All 20 series GPUs are worth no more than $700 at maximum now.
Yeah,
because
worth no more than the 3070.
Yeah, because
are worth less than the 3070.
Well, the 3070 outperforms every single 20 series GPU.
And
so
it's new.
And it's new with like newer tech and better power consumption.
Yeah.
If you are considering a 30 series GPU and you're at 1080, if you can find someone drowning trying to offload their 2080 Ti, make them an offer. You're going to be able to find someone that's going to sell it to you, and you're going to crush 1080 for years to come before you need to upgrade again. But if you have a job like me where you can work as much overtime as you want, and you have this fancy 1440p monitor, and it's 21:9, so it's an ultra wide, then like the 30 series is a pretty viable option. It's gonna crush some frames at a pretty like reasonable price compared to the 20 series.
Yeah.
So
that's the biggest thing, I think,
that's
is
the big
price.
The 20 series
Also,
is...
make sure that you are watching. The reason I just had like I don't know if anyone saw, but earlier I was like flipping around under my desk. I gave away one of my sleeved cable extensions, and I just realized that I'm gonna need to get that back from my friend that I gave it to, because I have currently an 8-pin and a 6-pin power connector, and the 3090 takes 2 8-pin power connectors. So
really?
I'm gonna need that back.
Was that from? Was that me?
No, that wasn't you. You're not special. I don't give you things.
What were you gonna say about the 20 series, Cole? Or you had a question about them?
It's still relevant, right?
Yeah.
Like
oh no, for sure. If you're if you're able to get a used 20 series for less than the 2080 Ti should not sell for more than $700 Canadian, I should be saying.
Yeah.
Anymore. The 2080 Ti is now, I don't care if you spent $2,200 on it, you just lost $1,500. It sucks. I'm sorry. It's true. I'm going to be selling my 2070 Super when I get my 2080 Ti probably for like $300 to $400. I don't know. We'll see where the market settles.
Ooh.
Like,
it's kind of just a part of buying any sort of technology. It's like,
but what the most important thing that
nowadays.
People do is wait for the independent frame benchmarks that are going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Don't go off of what NVIDIA is telling us is going to be happening, because we've seen this before, and they're really trying to like affect their bottom line. But
which is fair. But basically what I'm asking is, for somebody who's building a PC for the first time, the 20 series is still perfectly viable, correct?
Oh, yeah. I would say it's even better because you're going to be able to buy super cheap, unless you're building a crazy PC. But typically, if you're building your first PC, it's going to be pretty average.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm trying to say that the 30 series is only, for me, the 30 series is kind of like, I kind of have to upgrade because I'm rocking an ultra wide 1440.
Right.
If you're rocking a 16:9, just a regular standard size monitor, like, you're gonna be able to push upwards of like 144 frames with any 20 series card.
Right. Okay.
I would need a 2080 Ti to push 144 in like a lot of games now on this monitor. I built this computer
to get the ultra settings, correct?
Yeah, on ultra. Sorry, I'm talking on ultra because if you play on anything other than ultra, like, why are you even playing?
Well, like the fuck's sake, Starlight. Like this is
Starlight's rich bitch corner. That's all this is.
No, I'm loving it, man. I'm actually loving this. But I should put the caveat and the disclaimer in here that like everything that Starlight is setting out here is for like ultra settings in here.
Yeah.
So if you're aiming for anything less than that, then you're fine.
For sure. But like the ability to play on ultra, especially in new games, like a lot of games are meant to be enjoyed with everything turned on. Like they don't make the game to be like, hey, you want to turn off all of the settings?
That's true. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that for me, with a 2070 Super, upgrading to the 3090 is going to get me double the FPS in most of the games that I play. Like upwards, like sometimes more than double. Like I'm looking at this chart that has, like, I'm getting more than double the frames in. Okay, this is dumb, obviously, in Minecraft and Wolfenstein, which is stupid, right? But like,
well, Wolfenstein New Order,
like games like Control, which I just started playing and is a beautiful, gorgeous game. Pretty much double, like close to double the frames.
So give us some numbers here. What are you working with right now? What could you be working with?
In Control on Ultra, I think I'm rocking like between like 70, like high 70s to like 90 frames at 1440p.
That's already more than I'm getting on my Xbox. So.
Oh yeah, well, duh, dude, we're not. This is apples to oranges. What you're talking about?
We left the Xbox way behind.
Hey, speaking of which, once you finish this statement, I want to bring something up. Speaking of the Xbox,
so in the game Control, beautiful, gorgeous game. Mm-hmm. I'm getting like about like high 70s to like mid 90s in frames on Ultra with everything turned on. And then so it's looking at like relative performance from Control, from the 2070 Super to the 3090. It looks, just based on their graph, that like you're getting like 1.8-ish times performance on that. So you'd be easily crushing like 1440 at like if it's comparable from like 21:9 to 21:9 with 3090 instead of the 2070 Super.
Right.
But again, this is just on what NVIDIA's put out. So the main thing, if you take nothing else away from this, if you're considering an upgrade and you're gaming at 1080, shop the used 20 series markets. Look at your power supply, because there is going to be a bigger power draw in the 30 series. I went overkill on my PSU, and I know Cole did too with his PSU, so he's got a little bit of leeway. But you are going to need a higher quality and higher wattage power supply, probably than what you're running with. Like if you're upgrading from like a 10 series or from like a 980 or a 580, you're probably going to need a better power supply. You're probably also going to need to throw some more money at maybe a motherboard and a CPU combo, just to get yourself in the door, because you don't want to drop an insane amount of money on a graphics card only to be hit with like a massive CPU bottleneck.
Well, of course, yeah.
Wait. So in conclusion, wait for the benchmarks. Check your power supplies, and if you're only gaming at 1080, really consider the used market on the 2080 or the 20 series, like the higher end 20 series, like the 2080 Super and the 2080 Ti. Because if anyone's selling those for more than $700, go out and get yourself a 3070. Also in the spring, we could be seeing the 3060 drop, which is going to be a much more affordable option, because there's the 60 series has kind of always been the like affordable side of the like the 2060 was the affordable 20 series, and I'm assuming the 3060 is also going to be the affordable 30 series.
So speaking of affordable and Xbox, so this is a pretty funny thing.
Hey, Newt, nice segue.
So yeah, thank you. It was just slightly forced.
No worries, man.
This kind of all ties in with this. So from the the most bizarre of sources, the Xbox price was allegedly leaked. So it was leaked from Pringles. So what the idea is that they probably had.
Hold up. I expected Lay's. I expected Doritos. I expected probably Old Dutch, but you're telling me Pringles?
Yeah. So people are assuming they were probably going to have like an advertisement through Pringles, like, hey, enter and you have a chance to win an Xbox the Xbox Series
Valued
X. Yeah, or like a total grid, or like like oftentimes I have to say like the total amount of money their prizes are worth. Yeah. So the leaked, alleged, big quotations around that price was $599 for the Xbox Series X. $600, which is, I mean, it's not as bad as it could be, but that's a lot more than I'm willing to spend on the new Xbox.
Oh, so you're just saying 2 overtime shifts?
Well, it's exactly what Starlight said a few episodes ago now at this point. Like, yeah, like that's a lot more than you're willing to spend on the first release.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wait for the S, like Xbox Series XS.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does make me slightly worried about what Microsoft is going to have on their hands in terms of, the Xbox sales, because as of right now, I don't really see anything that Xbox has going for it. At least PlayStation has their exclusives, which is also weird because I kind of I mean, either one succeeding is good for the overall environment of gaming, but I kind of want Microsoft to succeed more because I feel like they've been more gamer friendly, like with the Xbox Game Pass. They're like, hey, you can play these games anywhere. You play it on Xbox, you can play it on PC, where Sony's got, their exclusives that are only available on PlayStation. But that's just like a gut feeling of mine. It's not very logical.
But what about Halo Infinite?
Yeah.
Well, we have to on PC eventually anyway. I'm more just pushing, like, I want to be able to play, like, when I've already owned Cyberpunk. I already own it. It's in my Steam library, getting ready to download. I'm very excited, ecstatic to play that game. And if I'm not crushing 140, I might be a little upset. So that's why I'm.
What's the refresh rate of the human eye again?
Okay, so that's where you get that's where you're getting into like weird biological territory, because it's like we see at like 60 frames, but
the brain receives reality at a rate of somewhere between 24 to 48 FPS.
Sure, that. So yeah, you see at that rate, but we are still able to distinguish between higher refresh rates.
Can the human eye see at 144 hertz?
This is just turning into high school biology.
Bold of you to assume I passed high school biology.
The answer is yes, because I can look at a 60 frames.
Yeah.
I can look at something at 60 frames and look at something at 144 and say, this one's faster.
Yeah. I can look at.
We are able.
I can drop down to 30 frames in a game because I fucked something up and go. Well,
I can drop down to 30 frames in a game if I just turn on my Xbox
console. Yeah.
So
yeah, that stinks.
You can like, yes, the human eye sees at a certain frame rate, but we have the ability. Hey, you're walking around with a supercomputer in your skull. You have the ability to perceive higher frame rates than your eyes can physically see. It's
weird.
Just how it works.
Damn it.
Like you can perceive things that are faster.
So
than...
I've learned a lesson here. Every time I try and school Starlight on anything PC related, I'm gonna get smacked down, pimp slapped, and said, know your place and shut up.
This weirdly kind of reminds me of something I wanted to tell Cole. I was gonna give you a suggestion. When you hop into your first game of Destiny on PC, I highly recommend at least the submachine gun. The first one I used was Recluse, so maybe that one's better, or maybe that was just like the first time I played Destiny on PC. But at least the submachine gun. Use a submachine gun as your first weapon. It will blow your fucking mind how good it is.
Also, summoning a sparrow, moving around with a sparrow, like trace rifle is actually true, because like it's a constant line that you can see moving as you move it, and on Xbox it's just like but on PC it's like
yeah,
it's really nice. Anyway, so this isn't going to turn into a giant.
Wait.
Yeah.
So when you use the sparrow with mouse and keyboard, do you direct it with the mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like driving in Halo.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
How? What? No, okay. You're talking to a console user. I'm like, rock plus stick equals X.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no,
never mind. I thought that reminded me of something that I didn't mention earlier.
Oh, I thought you muted me again.
No.
Hey, sir, it looks like you need another drink.
Huh?
I said it looks like you need another drink.
Okay.
I'm letting my basic white bitch flag fly today. And
hey y'all.
Oh, is that the peach tea? Hey y'all. Yeah.
I got a mix pack. It was on sale. What do you want?
Anything peach is.
Yeah, honestly, peach is pretty good.
Yeah, I got Georgia peach, and then what's the other one? The other one's something funky.
The other one I think it's a watermelon.
Alabama Passion. It was
Alabama
Passion. Oh boy.
Alabama.
Hey sis, how you doing?
Wait,
sis, what are you doing stuck in that laundry machine?
How much more you got to talk about, Starlight?
What did I say? If you're gaming at 1080, don't buy a 30 series. If you want to buy a 30 series, wait for the benchmarks to come out and make sure that your PSU is good enough. If you're gaming at 1440p, then yeah, maybe look into it, but do your research. Also, wait for the benchmarks. I know I said that, but it's worth saying again. Also, if you're going to be gaming at 1080 or even 1440 at 16:9, and you want a 2070 Super, hit me up. My number is 555-555-5555.
Or just tweet at you.
Or just tweet at me. Actually, don't, because I'm probably not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
I honestly, like the depreciation, I feel like after a certain level of depreciation, like if your GPU has depreciated more than 50%, you buy a shadow box and you just mount it in the shadow box, and you're just like, GG, F. Press F in the chat. F in the chat for all the 2080 Ti owners.
And if you are at 1080 and are looking to upgrade to 20 series, don't buy anything that's more than the price of the 3070. Look for a low price.
Man, I fucking love Bionicle.
Okay, I think we're getting close to the end.
What? We haven't covered our lore
Oh my
yet.
God,
I think that's a pretty solid side.
So I'm so happy that you told everyone to leave after we were done our Destiny stuff, because I rambled through that. The research like hasn't been done yet. All we have on the 30 series GPUs is NVIDIA's word that that's the performance that we're going to be hitting. Wait for the benchmarks.
Yeah.
And then like after the benchmarks come out, tweet at me and I'll start screaming about how amazing my 3090 is that I dropped.
Screaming or streaming?
Screaming, because I can't figure out OBS. So I'm pretty much stuck. But
you should go with Streamlabs if you're.
It is Streamlabs OBS.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what I mean. But the main thing is like just wait for the benchmarks. Wait for the benchmarks. Don't kick yourself. Like, don't get super down. Don't try it. Also, if you
It's
own
been
20,
less than a week since this shit released.
But if you own a higher end 20 series card, don't be a dick and try and rip people off. Like, it sucks, but like, don't be an asshole. Don't try and like sell people something that is no longer worth the card that it's printed on.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't be a dick about it. We all want to experience good gaming. Depreciation happens.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
This was kind of unprecedented. There's never been
Sell me your 2060 at a low price, please. Facebook Marketplace.
There's never been this big of a jump between generations of graphics cards until now.
Distraction noise.
And at such a crazy price.
At such a crazy price. Well, NVIDIA, like, props to NVIDIA. Like, if these numbers are true, like, props to NVIDIA for not just being like, hi, all graphics cards are $3,000 now.
Yeah. I wonder how much, like, because I feel like this is the first console that has actually had, like, not the first console. I feel like the Xbox One was pretty disappointing. Like, there was not that big of a leap in technology between the 360 and the One.
Yeah.
Whereas I do feel like the Series X and the PS5 are actually going to be a decent leap from the now they're going to be 4K at 60 FPS. I'm sorry, but the only reason that's true, that we're seeing such a huge leap, is mostly like most of the improvements between like last generation of consoles and the new generation that's coming out, like next gen consoles. Most of the improvement for that is based on the move from hard drives to solid state drives. Yeah. Like, all of your load times are going to be better. Guess what? That's not because of anything new and fantastic. That's existed for such a long time. Yeah. But they're just now implementing it into consoles. Yeah. The move to solid state. But just real quick, I want to say, I don't think it was a huge factor, but I wonder if NVIDIA was like, oh, there's actually a markedly improved console coming out, and it might be cheaper, although now considering the leak, it probably isn't. They're like, we should try to keep prices down a bit. so that people don't switch to console and
Yeah.
so bias. But NVIDIA's big enough that I feel like they wouldn't be affected by that so much. Sorry,
True,
Cole,
but
you were gonna say.
yeah, Cole, go.
So, is the reason that they're only now putting a bunch of effort into upgrading the hardware in these new consoles? Sorry, let me rephrase that.
No, I follow you.
Okay, cool. Is the reason that that they are putting more effort into upgrading this hardware because for consoles, yeah, is oh, fuck's sake. Wow. I
It's
can't talk
because
tonight.
PCs were getting so far ahead.
Not necessarily that, but was it now like affordable? What? Oh, okay.
No,
Google
that
just
is
opened
fair.
on my
Like
phone.
solid state drives have become much more affordable at a higher capacity
Yeah,
recently because
that's what I'm asking is
yeah,
it now
that is true.
affordable for the companies to start putting this hardware into their consoles, whereas before it wasn't really an option.
True, but like
I have literally no idea about any of this, and so I'm
yeah,
I'm asking as a pleb, as a
no,
PC pleb.
which is a fair question. But as like, so yes, it's much more affordable now. But a lot of people looking at like and now the frames are going to be fantastic. Like that's that technology that we could be seeing is actually because a lot of people are speculating that so AMD Team Red or whatever Team Red AMD is supposed to be sitting on big Navi. Navi was their like last series GPUs, so like the 5700X or 5700 XT, sorry. So like Navi, like big Navi is supposed to be the next gen, like the equivalent to the 30 series. And a lot of people are speculating that big Navi is actually going to be debuted not on PC systems but on console.
Yeah.
So that's the current speculation.
So the speculation is that the Series X and the PS5 are going to be based on big Navi using AMD graphics drivers.
Is this because Big Navi has been silent this entire time?
Pretty much, but like people were thinking that like, oh, this is what's like big Navi is going to be what brings consoles back into the fray and make them competitive with PCs. And then, as Newt has pointed out multiple times, NVIDIA is just like,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about our Lord and Savior, the 3090?
I also feel like part of the reason they have improved the consoles this generation is also like a lot of people, myself included, were not impressed with the last generation.
Like, I mean, I got it literally just to be able to continue playing with my friends.
I mean, same here. I enjoyed the Xbox One for sure.
Yeah.
But I had the Xbox 360 to base that off of, and yeah, like there were new generation games, and when Halo 4 came out, I was like, my god, these graphics are amazing. I didn't know like, the specifics though. I just I thought it was fine, but looking back on it, they did not. I mean, the PS4 actually kind of killed it. Let's be honest here.
Oh, dude, Spider-Man! I bought a PS4 to play Spider-Man. I will buy a PS5 to play the next.
It's
Spider-Man.
a one-game console, as I used to say. Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of other good ones, but we're actually seeing like Sony
Zero Dawn.
Yeah, we're seeing Sony play, but we're seeing Sony play nice with PC users. Like, a year or so down the line.
Yeah.
But we got Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, I don't know how many other PlayStation exclusives we've gotten on Steam or other stores since then. But if Sony continues to play nice, like I don't know if they will, because that means that they're probably going to like lose people who may, like me, who may buy like a PS5 to play.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Eventually, all it really comes down to is what you can afford. But we can probably sum up this entire episode with what can you afford?
Do you have a job?
And wait for now.
Do you have a job with unlimited overtime possibilities?
The only reason I have the patience and know-how of what I'm talking about is because of Starlight. So thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
I really just don't want you to get screwed over. Like, I want you to be able to game with me at like 144 frames, and you can finally see what I've been talking about this whole time.
I don't think talking is the right word. I think preaching
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I give that to you.
Newt,
Okay.
do you wanna end us out out on
You
the
know
night
what?
with
I think I'm A, gotta take a piss. B, I think I'm getting a little too tipsy to talk about anything else further. And C, hey guys, want to play some Destiny? Also, I need to take my dog out.
Dude, I want to play some Destiny so badly. So
I
while
think
you
Cole
take your
was
dog
about
out,
to suggest something good.
I'm gonna load in and grab some bounties. But yeah, Newt, do you wanna send us out with a bit of a story?
Yeah, so yeah, to wrap this all up and bring it back to Destiny, which if you're just a Destiny fan and not a PC fan, and you've stuck around to this point, fucking props to you.
Fucking props to you, bud. Tweet at us using a hashtag another Destiny podcast or a hashtag or mind. We'll give you a shout out in the next episode.
So this is gonna be from the Destiny Grim War Anthology number 1.
Please,
And
yes, more.
We just started it. This is, yep. Go ahead. This is.
I've been reading ahead.
Oh.
I've been a bad listener. I read ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for this to continue. So please,
So we had just started
keep the
in.
intro going. I gotta pee.
Yeah.
So hold up. I'll be right back.
This is just starting in on the history of the Hive. Okay, so this is verse 1.2, the hateful verse. For the consideration of the Helium Court, written in desperation, this sealed secret. I am Teox, sterile mother, teacher to the children of the Osmium throne. As a mother, I live long. As a neuter, I can rise above the small battles of court politics. I alone see the patterns of survival. Alone, I design the great engines that move the Osmium court. Now, alone, I must act to save my kingdom. I don't actually know how you say that. Senility? 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 Has claimed my lord the Osmium king. He is 10 and mad. The study of ancient texts consumes him. Today he raves about moons above the storm. Tomorrow he will wander the halls, speaking to his familiar, a dead white worm from the deep sea. He keeps it in glass, and he tends to it, and he neglects the duties of a king. The Osmium king has 3 surviving ears, each 2 years old. 0, the youngest and bravest, who wants to be a knight. Sathona, most clever, who wants to be a mother. And Orash, navigator child, who dreams of the infinite ocean. Tomorrow she will return from the tungsten monoliths. None of these are suitable ears. None of them will protect the Osmium court from the howling fundament. 0 can fight, but not lead. Sathona can think, but not fight. Orash's curiosity will draw her away from duty. I fear for all future children. Soon, the Osmium king will lock himself into the royal orrery to study the moons. Gather your knights, O helium drinkers, and invade our continent. Kill the 3 heroes. I will rule the Osmium court as your regent, and build engines for you. And if I fail, let the Leviathan in the deep eat me. Written in grief, this hateful request. Teox, Osmium mother, neutered to watch. Alright, so that was verse 1.2. I think I just swallowed a bug. It's the black lung. And next week we will continue on that at the end of the session.
Do you think we could actually do 2 per session?
Sure.
Well, let's not spoil the viewers.
Right. Okay.
We have run long, guys.
Yes, we have.
It's not that.
Okay.
Remind the people what they always have time for.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hang on. I gotta start the music.
God, it's fine.
Gotta play ourselves out.
Right.
So I hope everyone's staying safe out there. Thank you so much for listening. Was there anything that you guys wanted to add before we finish up? Yes, Cole.
If you can read the books of sorrow on your own because they're so good, and just read any Destiny lore that interests you because it's worth it. Trust me, just to sit down and read the lore. It's worth it.
It's about to get a bit easier in game as well. Or
it
well,
is
November.
about to get easier in game. But if you haven't checked it out already, check out the Ishtar Collective.
Yeah.
Because anyway, that's what I have to say. The lore is still amazing.
All right. Well, thank you guys, you two, for joining this week, and that was a great fun talk. That was I know it ran long, but I had a grand old time.
Dude, I had a fantastic time talking to you guys. It was so much fun, and just thanks again for having me back. I hope you guys bring me back at some point in the future. But it was nice to be a guest star on this wonderful podcast that you have going on.
Hopefully, you'll be a recurring guest. We'll see.
I'd like to hope so. Yeah, it's a shot in the dark. But you never know. You never know what the listeners want to hear, right?
Yeah. So, to everyone who has followed us on Twitch, thank you so much. To everyone who's followed us on Twitter, thank you so much. You can find that at Podcast Destiny. Oh, I forgot we were supposed to do this, so I'm just going to run through it. You can find Cole on Twitter at ADP Colossus. You can find Starlight on Twitter at ADP Starlight. Also, feel free to check us out on Twitter, like I said, at Podcast Destiny, or use the hashtag LoreMind if you want to give some suggestions or input on the Lore Mind series that is narrated by Cole and edited by myself.
Yeah. So if there are any lore books that you guys want to hear in particular, like if there's something you really, really want to hear in an audio format, but you don't have the time or the energy to read, then let me know and I'll record that for you. And yeah, we'll go from there.
All right. And to all our Spotify listeners, thank you so much. You're who we do this for. It always warms my heart to see all the different countries that we get listened to in. And if you enjoyed it,
my mind that there are people outside of Canada listening to us.
If you enjoyed it, give us a follow. Give us a share on Twitter or anything like that. It's super helpful. And I really hope you're staying safe out there in these very uncertain times. And
they're not so uncertain anymore. That's the thing. They're still real.
At this point, people should know better.
Yeah. You guys have time for that podcast?